First of all, I just wanted to thank everybody for sticking around to hear our presentation, and to thank everybody from FinJS for having us tonight. This is a great event. So I probably should have gone after Adam because my presentation actually brings his strategy to life. So we started this journey with OpenFin a couple years ago for two main reasons. One, we needed to migrate off our legacy tech to HTML5. And two, we had so many vendors we were trying to hook into and fintechs we were trying to try out. And it just became so much work to work with vendors that we felt that if there was a way to get interoperability between the multiple fintechs out there and our brokers and everybody else, it would just make our life easier and enable us to deliver faster. So we started with our application called SalesBook. What is SalesBook? Picture this. You have a ginormous app with 50 blotters that do everything that every single salesperson that ever walked through the firm wanted. And we added a feature for every single person, every desk, you name it. You name the product, whatever it is. But really what it is it's a hub that enables you to capture all your structured and unstructured data and tie it together in an intelligent way to provide live proactive analytics to the end users. However, when a new user would walk in the door, we couldn't train them because nobody remembered how it worked. And who didn't have the Friday night releases where it was release Friday, right? Let's get a pizza, let's get a case of beer, and let's do our release. And stay till 4 in the morning, right? So these were all very real issues that we had. So we realized we needed something to help us move to the next century. So here's where we started. So the whole thing started in literally .NET, went to WPF, and we even attempted HTML5 on our own. But that was an epic fail. Why was it an epic fail? Because we didn't know what we were doing, and we needed to learn. And we realized that, you can't just deploy in a browser, right? So one of our biggest users of this platform happens to be Doug McGregor, who's the CEO of RBC Capital Markets. And I get an email from him one night saying, I can't get SalesBook up. And I'm like, oh God, he's using it. Oh wait, he's VPN'd in and there's only IE on the desk. I'm gonna get fired. So we realized we needed to think of a better way to deploy our applications. So I don't know if he's here. Is Sung here? Sung, stand up. Okay, that's the guy that found OpenFin. So Sung was at a Bloomberg conference and came back from the Bloomberg conference, and I was like, okay, how was the conference? He goes, it was okay, but I met this vendor called OpenFin, and I think they can solve our problems. And I was like, all right, let's talk to him. So then Mozzie and Chuck came in to give us a demo, and I was like, listen, if I don't have to worry about the browser ever again, as long as I live, we're done. Like, I need that problem solved. So then fast forward to today, what we've been able to do is take that ginormous application and decompose it into bite-sized applications into the RBC App Store. So that's the RBC App Store. And what does that do for us? Well, it enables us 3 really big things. Time to market. I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever tried to migrate off a legacy app, but if you have, it's not fast. And if you say it is, you're full of it. Because I've never seen a legacy retirement project go any way but slow. And I'm responsible for that too. Second is simplify the deployment. As much as I love sending people home in cars and buying dinner, it does get exhausting, it wears people down, and it's inefficient. And then interoperability is really the main piece now that we're focused on with this journey going forward. And so what we've done is we've decomposed the app. So that is our bulletin screen, which enables our sales force to go in and very quickly and easily figure out what bonds or what securities or tickers, a client may want and all the relevant information. And it's really hard to move this screen to HTML5. In fact, we're 3 years in and it still looks like this, but that's our goal this year. So hopefully the next time you see this, that'll be in HTML5. And then we have our client insight screen, which is our recommendation engine. And that was our attempt at HTML5 before we found OpenFin. And then you have the CRM. So Salesforce.com is one of our vendors. In fact, I spoke at Dreamforce a few weeks back. And the whole conversation in the global market sector was about interoperability, streamlining the desktop. And I didn't even think the CRM people knew what everything else was. And I was like, oh my God, everybody knows what we're trying to do here. So that's the CRM. And then you get into our ticketing and our blotters and stuff. And I don't know if the adaptive folks are still here. Is Fergus here and John Marks? There they are. So we partnered with them to help us solve our MiFID issues along the way. And what we did was, because Reg has the biggest budget in IT, we figured let's use the Reg budget to do a tech upgrade. So that's what we did. So we politely satisfied the Reg and did a full lift on SalesBook at the same time. But again, partnering with partnering with a third party. And then you have our ticket creator, which is, we were able to turn off 11 different tickets and move them into one by going this way because of the fact that, over time, you tend to build a ticket for every salesperson that has a complaint, right? Oh, we got to give the user what they want, let's make everybody happy. Well, that doesn't scale. And so what we did was, because of the way the tooling is today, we were able to create it in a way that any salesperson can have a ticket in any order they want. If you don't want buy first, you don't have to have it that way, and I don't have to listen to you anymore, which is good. And then you have our integration with Symphony. We've done a lot of work with Symphony. In fact, I think it was 2 weeks ago was the Symphony event, and Josh Carroll was on stage demoing the connectivity and interop project we did with AllianceBernstein. And it's a really great use case of bringing the community together where, based off our Neptune axis, right, Alliance is auto-matching on our axe and sending us a message through the Symphony API. We're listening to that and then automatically popping up an indication of interest through our e-trading platform, right? We spent a week. That's it. It was like 1 week's worth of work to provide first look at business for our desk. And so when you think about all of this, thinking about the ROI that your business is getting, because now you can deliver faster, cheaper, more efficient solutions, right? And then over there is our alerter, and then you see the toast notification in the corner. So we use OpenFin as our OS, and through OpenFin we were able to do this in a way where we can actually make the windows stick wherever we want. And there's so many features that keep coming that it's important that you stay on top of that, right? So our dev team is phenomenal, and they're all over it. But the alerter is another example of trying to create bite-sized apps that will also work on your phone. So the fact is that by doing this, we're able to take these components and just run them on an Android or an iOS device. And then you have my favorite app, which I've got to give a shout out to the FastFin guys for, the RBC Tweet, which is just a simple way to get a client interaction into the CRM and share that information across the sales ecosystem. And that's a bunch of our apps and how we leverage OpenFin across our ecosystem. In fact, this presentation is a little bit old. There's a lot more now, but I just want to get across that, you know, you don't have to build it to deliver it, is really what I'm trying not to do anymore. So where are we heading? So I think it's all about community, right? If you think about it, all the budgets are shrinking. Everybody wants more with less. Now we have our favorite millennial crowd that, you know, what's a blotter? What, I have to look for the data? Just give it to me, right? Everything's got to be at your fingertips. You know, really tying in the unstructured data, the voice, the chats. You know, another tool that we integrate with is Adaptable Tools. We're big fans. I mean, they've given us a really fast time to market on our grids and so on. And really, it's about trying to get as many people into this community as possible for the benefit of the whole, right? So if you've got a product out there, I really encourage you to share what you're doing with everybody and try to push it along. That's all I had. Thank you.